Prenups historically have a bad connotation. Like Kanye West raps, we associate them with gold diggers. But what I've learned recently is that prenups today are not about that at all. It's more about protecting the assets of both individuals involved in the marriage. It's an agreement that you make which lets you define how you want your assets to be divided if something were to happen to your marriage, instead of letting the government decide for you. Hi everyone, welcome back to Roundup Save, where our goal is to demystify money to help you feel more in control of your money, whether that be through savings, earning, investing, or achieving financial independence. Today we're going to be talking about prenups and postnups, but before we dive in, let's define what we're talking about here. So what is a prenup? A prenuptial agreement or a prenup is a legal contract signed by a couple before they get married. The prenup essentially outlines the terms and conditions of their marriage, including how their assets will be divided in the event of a divorce or death. So what is a postnup? A postnuptial agreement or postnup is really similar to a prenup, but it's signed after the couple is already married. So whether you're getting married or are already married, this video is for you. So you may be wondering, what's protected in a prenup or postnup? Things that are protected in a prenup or postnup include property acquired before or during your marriage, education or retirement funds that were accumulated before or during marriage, ongoing spousal financial obligations including a divorce, taking on a spouse's debt, expected inheritances, or payouts for life insurance policies. Prenups and postnups do not cover items unrelated to financial matters like infidelity or poor living conditions, and it does not cover child custody. For a prenup to be legally enforceable, it must be fair and equitable and cannot appear one-sided, deceptive, or exploitative. And both parties must have their own separate legal representation. So what are the benefits of a prenup? So first and foremost, protection of separate property. If you have assets or debts that you acquired before marriage, a prenup can ensure that those remain yours if you get divorced. This can be really important if you have a family business or assets that you want to keep in the family. Divorce proceedings can be extremely costly and very time-consuming and very emotional. A prenup can make that process less complicated and less expensive by making sure that you set the terms for the asset division in advance. Another benefit is being able to avoid conflict. A prenup can help avoid future conflicts in the event of a divorce. It sets really clear expectations for how assets and debts will be divided, which can reduce the potential for disagreements. So you may be wondering, what are the disadvantages of a prenup? Well, while there's many benefits to getting a prenup, there's also a couple disadvantages to consider. Talking about a prenup can be difficult and uncomfortable, and it may be seen as a lack of trust, and some partners may not be willing to sign one. Another disadvantage is that the legal fees can be really expensive. According to Forbes, the average cost of a prenup nationally is about $650, but this can really range from $500 to $6,000. So you may be wondering, what are the benefits of a postnup? A postnuptial agreement is similar to a prenup, but it's signed after the wedding has already taken place. Some benefits of a postnup include addressing changes in the relationship. A postnup can address changes in the relationship that may have occurred since the wedding, such as one partner starting a business or inheriting a large sum of money. Another benefit is that it's less stressful than divorce. If you're considering divorce, a postnup can be a less stressful way to resolve issues. It can be used to set clear expectations for how assets and debts will be divided. Another benefit is that it can improve communication. By discussing a postnup, partners can improve their communication and really work together to address the issues in their relationship. So you may be wondering, what are some of the disadvantages of a postnup? As with the prenup, there are also some disadvantages to consider when it comes to a postnup. The first being legal fees. Creating a postnup can be expensive and legal fees can really add up quickly. Based on Contracts Council's marketplace data, the average cost of a postnuptial agreement is around $550. But again, this can really vary based on state and complexity and could cost as much as up into the thousands. Another disadvantage is tension in the relationship. Bringing up the topic of a postnup can create tension and stress in the relationship. One partner may feel like the other is planning for the worst. And just like prenups, a postnup is not always enforceable. If one partner is coerced or pressured into signing the agreement, it may be considered invalid. However, if both parties come together with a lawyer, it's more valid than doing a DIY postnup or even prenup. Overall, I think the takeaway about whether to have a prenup or a postnup is summarized so nicely in this quote from a Next Advisor article that I read about this topic. Rita Soledad Fernandez Polino, a financial coach at Wealth para Todos, shared that every state has laws and regulations about what's going to happen in the case of a divorce. Essentially, what this means is that if you don't create your own prenup or postnup, laws can either work for you in your favor or to your detriment, depending on what each person in the relationships brings to the marriage and how the laws are interpreted. Think of how you would get insurance on your home, car, health, etc. A prenup or postnup is like an insurance for your marriage. It protects your money in ways that can save your wealth and well-being in the future. And like most insurance, a prenup or postnup is great to have in case something happens. I recently learned more about prenups and didn't have the time or resources to get one before Neil and I got married, but we decided that we would get a postnup within 1 year of being married because we both think it's important for us to have a voice about how things should get divided if, God forbid, something were to happen, than have some random state decide and make decisions for us. If you like content like this, make sure to please smash the subscribe button and like the video, drop a comment down below and let us know what you think. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Roundup Save.